You ever buy a project, get it home, you have good intentions, but the novelty wears off. Sits for a few days, sits for a few weeks, sits for a few years. Yeah, I kind of done that. I done that with this little side-by-side. I bought it not running, it needed a starter and a few odds and ends. I got it home, the novelty wore off. I moved it around now 3 different times. It was in a garage of a house we previously owned. I moved it here, it was in my woodshed for a year, and now it's in this garage, and it's been sitting here now for months. I got some parts for it, I got a new starter. I'm gonna try to get this thing going. And honestly, the kind of guy I am is if I don't buy something and bring it home and immediately fix it, this is what happens to it, all right? I just lose interest in it and never think about it again. But today, that's gonna change. So Jeff Bezos sent me this new starter and a solenoid. So I'm gonna get this put in there. I'm gonna try to get this thing running. I know it needs a pile of other stuff. So don't forget to hit the like button, hit the follow button. You'll be seeing this thing running soon enough. So here's a little backstory on this bike. I bought this bike 3 years ago for 1,500 bucks. So yeah, I bought this little side-by-side about 3 years ago, and before I bought it, it probably sat for around 2 years. So I'm estimating that this thing has been sitting now for just about 5 years. You know, you can buy a good one in running condition for 3 grand, but I paid 1,500 bucks for this one, and I'm probably gonna spend 1,500 bucks on it. You know, guy math, right? When I bought it, I was told the starter was gone. They took the starter out, but never replaced it. But it did run and drive. So my goal today is to get the starter put in it, get some fresh gas put in it, try to start it. I believe they said that back then that maybe it needed a throttle cable or something like that too, but I can't really remember. So let's go ahead, yank this seat out, and we can gain access to that back panel. Okay, so here's where our battery goes. I believe behind this panel right here is how we access that starter and whatnot. Right now. Seriously. Oh. Helps when you take all the bolts out. Come our boss, but come she must. Now you can see things here a lot better. If you look over right here, this is where our starter goes. So let's just go ahead and clean all that dirt and debris out of the starter hole, just so nothing don't get down in the engine. And what do you know? Tell me you live by the ocean without telling me you live by the ocean. We found a shell in here. Okay, we got a good old Amazon starter here. I don't exactly know how this goes because I didn't take it apart, but this is my positive and these are my grounds, I think. This goes to the solenoid. I'm not going to replace the solenoid yet. I'm just going to try it with the solenoid because I might not need to replace it. Is that your real accent or are you just playing it up? Buddy, I'm actually playing it down for these videos. I try to speak as slow and clear as possible so you can actually understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. But if you think my accent is thick, you should hear my father. You won't understand a thing that he says. Let's get that starter put back in now. I got 2 of these wires here. They look like they're just grounds, and I'm pretty sure they just go here on a bolt and go on to the starter. I don't see anywhere else where they would go, so that's what I'm going to do. I'll find out soon enough when I try it if it's going to work or not. Click, click. So our starter is in. Next step, I'm going to check the transmission oil, the engine oil. We're going to put some gas in it. I'm going to put a battery on it. And we're going to try to start it. We're full on gearbox oil. The engine oil is all the way back here. We're full on engine oil. So our gas tank is over here on this side. It passes the sniff test. The gas tank looks to be dry, so that is actually good. There should be enough gas to start it. So we got the good old car battery instead of booster cables here. Red to red, black to black. Make sure those things don't touch each other. Positive, negative. And we should have power. And I don't. I got no power. Okay, so I got no power to my dash for some reason, but it turns over when I cross out the solenoid. Key is on. Choke is on. Okay, so we go down here and find the air box. Just gonna give her a sniff. A big sniff. That did not sound very good, did it? Did that sound like it was knocking to you? Okay, let's give her some choke. Just give her another sniff. Just give her some more go-go juice. Get my choke on, still. She's not really getting her gas. She's smoky. She just chopped off on her own. I don't really know why. So it sounds really loud. I think it's just from the exhaust, to be honest with you. I'm hoping it is. But it does sound kind of knockish. I'm just going to try to start it up again now and see if she'll restart. Let's choke her. The foot pedal does seem a little sticky, like when you really give it to her, like it stays down for a little bit, which is not good. I'm just gonna let some of this smoke clear out. I'll pump up the tires and we'll try to go for a little drive. All right, we're back. So I went in and got a bite to eat, and you can't tell, but this is now 2 weeks later. Yeah. But now I've been busy these last 2 weeks. I have not stopped, honestly. I've been traveling pretty well all around the island, picking up new projects and whatnot. Anyways, now we're gonna take this thing for a little run. I gotta pump up the tires. We don't have any brakes. Start her up, I'm gonna take it for a little run, make sure it runs and drives. After test drive, we'll reassess, see what other parts we need. I'm gonna have to order some stuff up. And there'll probably be a part 2 video of this bike, of me kind of finishing it and getting it all dolled up. Ooh, if you look right here, right there. I'm just going to drive a plug in it real quick. I got to get new tires, but that'll be good enough for me to take it for at least a test drive so the tire don't go flat. See how much play is in that tire? Seems to be quite a bit of play on those inner tire rods. So I'll probably get a couple of those. Alright, so I got a car battery hooked up here now with some booster cables. My ignition switch still not working. So I'm going to go ahead and cross out that solenoid again. Get her running. Go out for a rip. Order some parts. I finally got her going. She don't sound the happiest, but we're going to try to go for a little run. It's been sitting for quite some time, so it probably needs a carb cleaning. Also, the foot pedal, the throttle, sticks. But luckily, I think I can just haul it back in neutral if it sticks too bad. I'll probably have to get a throttle cable for this as well. Let's try to go for a run. So you can't see me because I'm just outside of the frame, but you can certainly hear this bike popping and going. And that grinding noise is me trying to put it in gear. But that throttle cable is a little stuck and it's not really at idle, so I just whopped it up in gear and you'll see what happens. Yeah, so you can see the sprocket is turning, but the axle is not. And if you look on the back side here, you can see all the bolts are sheared off. And then you look over here and that muffler is blood red inside. I'm assuming it's just because of all the starting fluid and whatnot I was using just to try and start it, but I don't really know. Well, the maiden voyage was somewhat successful, I guess. It does run, it does drive. But the throttle cable sticks. I have absolutely no brakes, so it's very, very sketchy. And the throttle was kind of stuck down a little bit. She wasn't really at idle. So me being the dumbass that I am, I just whopped it up in gear. And as you've seen, the sprocket is turning. But the axle's not turning because all the bolts are sheared off from the sprocket. So I gotta fix that as well. Whew. This thing is also not light. I'm going now, pushing her in. But I'm pretty confident that I can make a good rig out of it. It'll be mainly used by my young fella, so. I also don't know why the exhaust, but it was like blood red inside of that muffler. Probably, maybe that's gas in there, I don't know. And it was kept like popping, you know what I mean? I don't know what that's about, but I need a throttle cable. I gotta fix those brakes. I got no idea what's wrong with them, but there's absolutely no pedal. So it's pretty sketchy when the throttle sticks and you got no brakes. You just end up like hauling it out of gear, and then you put it back in gear and it slams in gear and shears off the sprocket, as you've seen. So I need a throttle cable, some tires, those 2 tie rod ends, the inner ones. The ignition switch is not working. It'll come on, the lights will come on, but she won't start on the ignition switch. I'm having to cross out the solenoid, and according to Google, it's pretty common that the ignition switch gives out on these. So I'm going to go on in now, try to find some parts. Look out for part 2 of this. We'll be dolling her up with some new tires, a few new parts, cleaning her out real good, and the young fella should get a few good years use out of this one. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.